Hey guys. Hi Angie. Janice. I love you, Janet. And hi Terry. Terry, I saved your picture from Instagram to show today. Hi Dawn, Laverne. Hi Kat. How y'all doing this morning? Let me go ahead and bring up that picture so it's at the ready from Terry's. Terry can rock those prompts. I'm telling you, she can rock those prompts. There we go. I have it ready. Okay, I'll wait a few minutes. More people come in. Let's see. Angie, you're probably making bowls. Hi, Pamela. I got my lemon water and a fig Newton. Get my voice rolling. I talk to the cats, but it seems not to be enough before I stream. Let's see. I don't think I've missed anybody. So I got some new art books, new color book. This is the one that we're going to work on Monday. A couple people have ordered that and they're waiting to get theirs. So we're going to do this on Monday. So I'm going to do collage, cluster postcards. And I got a couple things laid out, but look, I pulled out all kinds of stuff. I made a list of all the stuff. You don't have to have all this stuff, but I wanted to have so that people can say, well, what can I use? Hi, Brooke with an E. Let's see, Deb E. Tina in Sweden. Yeah, Rust Day. Yeah. This is the first Debbie Epps book I bought, and it's really good. I mean, not that I didn't think it wouldn't be, but because I have so many collage soup and pour toast books, which I'm going to be using pour toast autumn books today. I pulled those are over there. I'll show those as well, but they're not new. But because I have so many collage soup and pour toast books and a couple other, Mina, what's her name? Anyway, Mila. I have a few others, but I said, well, I just can't get into another collage person. But I don't know. Debbie might have got me in. She might have sucked me in, Debbie. Not our Deb E that's here. This is Debbie Epps. Here, I'll put that there. So, yeah. Let's see. Who else am I missing? So I was really impressed, and it's good quality. Good quality. So I don't know how when they do print on demands on like Amazon. I think that's how she does it. I don't know, but the quality is really good, and so I was impressed. Oh, you're eating eggs. Okay. You're going to work on your bowls today. Angie Brown's going to have her fabric bowls. She'll be selling them with Lovely's Crafting, Jacqueline. I call her Lovely J. And Lovely J, Kat can put a link in if she wants. Lovely J does sells on Fridays, Friday late afternoons. So yeah, Debbie goes, yay, Angie. And Angie does not have a channel. She's not on social media. So, I know y'all think, oh, I'll just get her to make me a bowl. You can't. You're going to have to get it through Jacqueline. Just saying. Unless you go to one of her craft shows where she lives, and I doubt y'all going to do that. So I'll just have to wait. I think she said in mid-October, correct, Angie? Mid-October is when Jacqueline's going to sell your bowls. I have quite a few of them. Let me show you here. They got stuff in them, but let me try to show you some of my Angie bowls. And Denise has taken about, I don't know, 3 or 4 of my bowls too. Here's a small one. I'll try to kind of, do I have loose beads in it? Yeah, I got loose beads in there, but let's see. So they see how they're the rope, fabric covered rope bowls. And I use them for my little jewelry. Here's another one here. Again, I can't really show you too much because I got beads. I got things in progress here. So there's that one I have. And then this one's a larger one. See, it's about as big as my hand. They're that rope, the fabric rope, and she covers it and sews them. So there's this one. So she sells it, makes these and sells them, and she'll be selling now at Jacqueline's. There it is. Thank you, Kat. Kat's on it. She jump on it, Kat. So yeah. So y'all follow Lovely's Crafting Lodge, Jacqueline, and she, like I said, she sells on Friday afternoons. Let's see. Now, do you need more craft shows here in town? Okay, so you're gonna send them all to Jacqueline. So y'all got to just get over there to Lovely's Crafting Lodge. Thanks, Kat. Hi, me. Did I say hi to you, Missy? Hi, Missy. Let's see, who else am I missing? Scrolling. Okay, so good morning, everybody. Good to see you. We're gonna do some. I want to use some of Debbie Epps' book, although I'm real anxious to use it in my red journal. But I wanted to I wanted to show it off today. And then Monday we're going to color in Chris. I'm going to do a flip of all these. Kristen Karen's Little Folk. Hi, Ann Makes. So yeah, I'll do a flip of all these books. I got these two were enabled. I think this one was enabled by Zandra, Scraps to Beauty Zandra. This one, I think it was enabled me by Kathy Burke, or vice versa. But that they enabled me on these. This is just a zine. It's not, it's not like it's got papers if you wanted to cut them out, but it's a zine about Pamela Sue Johnson, and you can find her on Instagram. And so I knew it was going to be like it's kind of thin. It's a zine, but and I'll do a little flip through that. And so yeah, we're going to go through these, and then I'm going to work on some postcard clusters. And look here, I got one ready to go here. And then if you don't like clusters where it's just a hodgepodge of stuff, you can do stuff. I did a couple. They're not glued down yet. You could do something more. You could do something more. What do you call it? I don't want to say realistic, but you know what I mean. You could do something less piled on, if you will. So I haven't glued either one down yet. I just wanted to show y'all some ideas here, and I'm going to give you all my list, everything I pulled, and there's more things I could have pulled or written down, and y'all have stuff, y'all know. And so we're going to make some postcard clusters, and that's just a cluster, a bunch of piles of stuff. It's just fun. You can use your scraps, your leftovers. I pulled, this whole desk is full. You can't see all the way down there. Here, let me see. I'll go ahead and look. And then I got it going over this way too. Sorry if y'all don't like movement, but there you go. Hi, Keeks. Let's see. Laverne. Oh, thanks, Laverne. Yeah, I'm gonna, and I'll probably, don't tell anybody. Y'all are early birds. Don't tell them. I'll probably do a giveaway, some little collage kits. Y'all know how I do. So I spent a little bit of time yesterday. I have I cut down. I have 12 by 12 cardstock in white, black, craft, and of course I have tons of cardstock left over from back in the scrapbooking days. I got bins and bins and bins broke out by color, but I wanted to do these kind of fallish. So I said, well, then let's do craft color. So I took about this much 12 by 12 craft paper, and I cut it down to 4 by 6. Hi, Belinda. And so if I do some giveaways, I'll give y'all, a couple pieces of 4 by 6 cardstock and some goodies to make your own. I'm not going to make them for you. Y'all have to make them yourself, but I'll give you the stuff to make it. So, and you know how we do. We usually do 2 US, 2 international. So y'all are on the DL. Okay. So let's see. Then I pulled all, if you have ephemera, ephemera packs. I have postage stamps. I'm just kind of showing some of the stuff we're going to use. Postage, canceled postage stamps. What else did I pull? Dress pattern for the tissue. I have a bag of just fabric scraps. And then I have some of my Selena. I've got the color book on my mind. Selena fabrics, like cans of cloth and some other stuff here. And then I pulled some lace. You can use that kind of stuff. Let's see here. I got ribbons and some gold leaf stuff. Washi tapes, little mini tags. I got some flowers, the flat flowers mixed in there. I have jelly plated papers. Here's some tickets, which I would either color with, either watercolor ink or something, but tickets. I did pull some pop dots. Let's see, what else do I have on the desk? Ink, of course, inks, paint, palette knife, scraping on paint, rubbing on the inks, some more jelly plated papers here, torn pieces of ephemera. You can use that. So whatever you got, if you want to play along, feel free. Let's see. What did Janet say to Hi, Christina. Yes, exactly. We won't talk about that yesterday at Kathy Berg's. Yeah, let's just, shh. I know, but yeah, exactly, Kat and Janet. Hi, View. I did watch a minute or two of your last video where you're talking about varnishing your color book pages. I don't varnish my color book pages. And let me show you the varnish. I've shown it a bunch of times, but maybe you've missed it. I only varnish my collage pages. Sometimes I varnish other little things, but I don't varnish my full-on color book pages. Now, I have cut things out of a color book and glued it into an art journal and varnished the art journal. But whatever if you're using anything water soluble, in other words, not watered down acrylic. Watered down acrylic will dry permanent. But any kind of watercolor that reactivates, you don't want to varnish that. It's going to move. Okay. But this is the varnish I use. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it. I get it at Hobby Lobby because it's right down the street. Yeah. You can varnish if you cut something out. I mean, you can go ahead and varnish it if you want, but if you have any kind of water soluble gel pens, anything that moves with water, I think Distress Oxides might move with water. No, the Distress inks move with water. I think the oxides might not. But anyway, you have to test everything, because if you put a coat of varnish over it, it's going to move everything around. So thanks, Kat, put a link to this. But it's a water-based high gloss, and this is my final coat of anything. Like here, let me real quick. It's what I use in my art journals. Here, let me just pick a page. Okay, see how shiny that is? And how I do it, this is how I usually do it. Now, I've shown how I do it. I'm not going to do one now because every page in here is varnished. But how I do it is I usually just pour a circle out. Now, this is me. Some people don't like to touch their supplies. You can if you use a brush to move this around, use a sponge brush, because it won't leave brush marks. If you use a brush, you're going to leave brush marks. Some people don't care if there's brush marks. That's fine. I'm just saying, I don't want brush marks. I put a circle. If it's a postcard or something small, I'll put it like a quarter size in the middle, just a quarter size of the thing. But something this big, I'll go zzz, zzz. And then what I do is I take my finger and I just like this. And then I go up and down and across this way. And I do it all with my finger because it leaves a nice, smooth, no, see how smooth that is? No brush marks. Okay. So that's, yeah, sponge brush. If you don't want to touch the varnish, then use a sponge brush. You know, those cheap ones that you get. Hi, Ellen. Those, here, I'll show you one here. I have one handy right here. Where do I have one? No, I got a bunch of them. I just got to figure out where I put them because I don't really use them very often. Well, y'all know what a sponge brush is. Yeah, I don't see one handy. I don't use them very often because I just use my finger. And so anyway, and View, I know you're waiting on your book, Little Folk. We're going to color on Monday. We're going to color out a Little Folk on Monday. Let's see. Scrolling back, who else have I missed? Well, yeah, because your stream was already over. So yeah, I said I could leave her a comment. I said, nah, I'll see her in my stream or a stream soon. I'll just tell her next time I see her. It was too much to type, View. Let's see. Hi, Vale. If I'm missing anybody, I'm not trying to. Hi, Kimberly, Lisa Welch. Let me get a civil. Did I say you, Belinda? I think I did. Okay, my lemon water. Okay, thanks, Kat. Kat put a link to this. So we're going to do flip through the books, and then we're just going to play with some postcard clusters. Again, I showed you a few of the things I pulled. I'll read off my list here in a minute. And again, you can do these in a couple different ways. You can pile on a lot of stuff and make it really messy, or you can be more, you can be more precise and just do a little scene, just do little collages. You can, I'm just going to show a couple different things and play with some postcards with a bunch of leftover stuff. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Thanks, Belinda. All right. Well, let me go ahead and get started with the flip through the books. Like I said, we'll probably I'll do some pile together some little collage kits. I started cutting out some stuff out of Poor Toast, Kate Curry fall autumn books. I've cut a few things out here to play with. I'll show you the books that I'm working out of there too. And then also I wanted to say, because I don't forget, if you want to use your collage pieces just flat and glue them down, that's fine. If you want to pop dot them up, they're very thin. So my suggestion to how to do that is you take, and I did it on with this one. Okay, what you do is you just take a piece of the card stuff, the same stuff we're using here, the postcard that I cut down. And you take, let's just take this girl, for example. You take it uncut down, and this is only if you want to pop dot it up or make it dimensional. Okay, like this is more dimensional. Don't cut it out. Don't cut her out. Well, you can do whatever you want. I'm just giving you the easy route, okay? Don't cut her out, then glue her down on postcard and cut it out again. Just take your girl, or whatever. In this case, it's a girl. And glue the whole thing down on a piece of cardstock or whatever, heavier paper. And then cut her out. Then you're only cutting it out once. Hi, Spare Room. Good to see you. Hi, Marsh. Good morning. Good to see you. And then you're only cutting it out once. You know what I mean? I'm not going to cut her out right now because you get the idea. So that's what I did with this little Nomi here. I glued them down like this with the paper behind and glued them down and then cut them out. Okay. And then you can ink them, because you might, in this case, it's craft card. So it's brown already and you don't really have a white line, but you can go around with your ink pad and get rid of the white edge. If you glue this down, like say on white paper, you can get rid of a white edge, or you can take, your little brushes and ink it up and, do that. So however you are used to inking. And then you don't have a little white edge there when you pop dot it up. And I'm not going to go take them off the wall or off the shelf right now, but I've shown y'all my shadow boxes where I've done the full scenes with little gnomes and the little mushrooms and plants, different things in them. Um, you want to do that, especially if you're doing a shadow box that's dimensional, because if you look at it even a little on the side in a box, you're going to see a white line along the edge. Maybe it doesn't bother you. I like it to blend really well. Hi, Ego. Good to see you. Okay, so there's those little tips. I tell y'all everything I know. you know, I really, if you ask me a question, if I know the answer or have a suggestion, I will give it to you. I don't know everything, trust me, but if I don't know, I can send you to someone that does. Okay, so let's see. We'll go through some more supplies here in a minute. Let's go ahead and go through the books. So this one is the Little Folk. This is the third in her series of her nice new hard, or not hard, well, they're soft cover, but they're nice covers, textured, nice books. Christine Karen. And this is the third one that just came out within the last week. Hi, Cindy Daly. Did I miss you? Let's see. Yeah, there we go. If I don't know the answer to something, I'll just send you to Janet. You're such a hoot, Janet. Okay, so let's flip through Little Folk. And I've been coloring. Oh, wait, before we do that, let me show you the pages I did finish on well, y'all saw this one. I showed this one on Monday. I did finish her, and you can see the pearls there. Pearls in her little flowers in her hair. So I finished her, and then on stream I worked on her. Now she's dry. Now I'm not finished with the leather and her face, but I went ahead and did this so that y'all could see what it looked like. Okay, let's get the lighting there. So there's the pearls and her beaded clothing there and her jewels. So we did that on Monday. And then after that, I've worked on this kind of, let me kind of flatten it out here. What I did with this one, I wanted her on a black background, or I wanted the background around her to be black, but I didn't want to paint it on the page. So I cut her out. I cut her out and put her on a black cardstock. Of course, I splattered paint too. So there's this girl. So, and we did this with watered down acrylic paint. As we did this, watered down acrylic paint pens. Let me see. Here, this is out of my set of 460, but any acrylic paint pens like this that have the brush tip. And we just put them on. Let me get a little thing here. Oh, I lost my stamp. There we go. I just put them on some plastic. It can be plastic packaging or whatever. And then I use just maybe a little water off to the side. Not much, just enough to kind of keep this wet because it dries quick. And then where do I have a little brush? I've been using these little fingernail brushes because they're real they're floppy, but they're sturdy and good for picking up this paint. So, and then you can just paint like you would with any other paint. It's just a little bit rather than a whole lot. So if you want to see this done, go to Monday's stream because I showed how to do all that on Monday. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so let's move this off. So these are Christine Karen's, and I showed a whole bunch of those on Monday as well. All right, so let's finish with flipping on Little Folk here. Okay. Let's see. I might need to adjust the lighting, but we'll see. So she does like little big-eyed creatures, most of them. Now, she's kind of like her other girls, but a lot of them are, little big-eyed fairies, gnomes kind of thing. Little gnomes there. Little gnomies. There's a little mermaid. So this is Little Folk. Is it Little Folk? Yeah, Little Folk. Let's say exactly what it was. Hi, Arlene. How you doing? Thanks, Kat. Kat just put in a link to my Monday stream. Hi, Christina 331. So aren't they cute? So we're going to work in this book on Monday. So if y'all want to color along or something. And there's a lot of pages, and she names each creature. Flowerling, garden friends. So she, good morning fairy. So she has names for all of them. And I haven't decided what I want to color with yet. If I want to do a watered down acrylic, brush markers, acrylic paint. It's the same thing. I do the same thing when I water down any kind of acrylic paint. I use acrylic paint, matte, make sure it's matte, or the brush markers. You know, it's the same type of thing. It's just when you use the brush markers, you're using less because you're just putting down a little bit and, you know, just smearing it around. Of course, y'all know I love me some alcohol markers, and then I always add details with color pencil. There's always going to be color pencil in my coloring. Pan pastels. I use pan pastels in my color books. And again, most of these pages like this, I'll cut them out and then after they're, you know, completed, I'll put them in a sleeve in my 3-ring binder. The only ones I really don't want to cut anything out of are hardback books. If it's a hardback color book, then I'm careful not to do 3-dimensional things in it because it puffs up, you know, makes the pages textured for the next page next to it. I love this one. That's so cute. Isn't that cute? Little fox. Little ballerina. Trollerina. That's what she named this one. So anyway, we're going to color in this on Monday. Again, I got it off of Amazon. There's a couple samples there, but you don't get to see much in the way of the inside of books on Amazon, you know. So I know that other people have shown this book already, but you know, I'm going to show it here too. So that's what we're going to do on Monday. All right. So then I'm going to wait on this one because this is what we're going to use part of this one today. Like I said, this right here, these two right here were enabled me by Kathy Berg and Scrap. Let me get a sip of lemon water. Scraps to Beauty Zandra. And I don't remember which one enabled me on which one. Maybe Zandra had both. Kathy had one. Hang on. Bite a fig Newton. I don't have a banana. I don't have any bananas today, View. All right. Hang on. For sure, Ego Brain. Okay. So this is a zine. It's thin, and it's kind of like a little store. It's a zine. It's like a magazine, and a lot of times zines are small. We do zine swaps here, not all the time, but we have done quite a few. And they're usually the 2.5 by 3.5 small folded zines. Zines is a short version of a magazine. It's like a little magazine, a zine, you know. And thanks, Kat. And it says this is volume 2. I did not see a volume 1 on Amazon. Maybe it's sold. I don't know. I didn't do a deep dive, but Pamela Sue Johnson, it talks about, how she got into art. I'm not going to do I won't read a whole bunch to you, but I'll read a little bit. So she talks about creative inspiration, and it's a lot of pages. You could cut them up if you want and use them in collage, but usually a lot of people with zines, they kind of collect them. They kind of collect their zines. So I'll read what she says back here. Is that the one I wanted to read? Let's see. No, was it here? There's a little bio. Oh, maybe it's the front. Let's see. Well, I don't want to read her whole zine, so I won't read it. Let's see. All right, let's see. The myth that creativity strikes out of nowhere leaves too many waiting and hoping for a sudden burst of brilliance. But the truth is, inspiration often requires some kind of movement, some kind of action. Creative energy attracts inspiration. And I always say creativity is in your butt. You have to sit down and work. So it's kind of the same thing, but she's saying it nice. I don't wait for inspiration. The trick is to show up, and then inspiration will show up too. So it's, it's a thin book. Just, Kat put a link in there to it, but it's very pretty, very colorful, and it's eye candy. It's very inspiration. This kind of book is inspirational. Maybe this was the page I was thinking I was going. But anyway, so art scene to inspire and empower. And it's volume 2, Pamela Sue Johnson, and Kat put a link. Okay, then this one, and I'm probably not going to pronounce this right. It's not Sylvia, it's Sylwia Gryozuk. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. And okay, I think I muted y'all. I was choking on a piece of the fig Newton. Can't talk and eat, people. I need a banana. Let's see. I don't think I'm missing it. Okay, so Tandy Art's Cut Out and Collage Magical Book. Over 450 elements. So a little intro page. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Okay. I'm gonna have to go get something else to, I don't know what, but I usually have a banana because that helps the voice. And so this one, she has little art tips. Add a few splashes of paint to your page. Place some Tandy Art collage pieces on top. Try clustering them together for a playful effect. Finish by adding more paint around the edges to blend everything in. Of course, y'all know I'll paint it all, go crazy with the paint. But anyway, so I'm going to do a little flip. Thanks, Kat. So her stuff is very colorful and very whimsical. Very whimsical. And see, she's got full pages here, like this. I love this. I'll probably do something with this in my journal, in my red journal. So I'm just going to kind of do a quick flip here so y'all can kind of get an idea of what's in it. She has a little whimsy girls. ATC, well, these are a little smaller than ATCs, I think. Let me see what size these are. Little. Well, I mean, you can put them on ATCs and then put stuff around them, Get the right side of my ruler here. 2 by 3. Rather than 2.5 by 3.5, they're 2 by 3. So if you put it on an ATC, you'll have a little border. Okay. I just had a piece of, I try to put some, eat something. If it's not a banana, it's usually a fig Newton. But if I eat and talk, I'm going to choke. I just can't eat and talk. And these are, you can use them for postcard backgrounds. So, and of course you can cut down, tear them out, cut them out. So very, very colorful and whimsical. It just makes you smile. Her stuff just makes you smile, right? And it's on a semi-satiny paper, which I like because it's the ink quality is better on a satin paper as opposed to just a flat matte paper, which I don't mind using because I color with pencil and stuff too. But yeah. So there we go. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but there you go. So there's that one. And then, like I said, this is Debbie Epps. It's the first Debbie Epps book I bought. Just because I have so many. Let me show y'all what we're going to be using today. These books here, and I keep them in sleeves because once I cut them out, they start, roaming around the studio. So these are the two books, the autumn books that are by Poor Toast. Autumn Ephemeral Volume 2. And it's got the semi shiny paper. I can't really do a flip of them because I've cut these up to no end. But I'm going to use things out of that book and out of Autumn Ephemera. I guess it's one. And so again, you can see I use my books. I do use them. And then I keep them in these sleeves to keep them contained. So they're not everywhere. But those are the two books I'm using from Poor Toast. Okay. And then, I might have picked one or two mushrooms out of the Mushroom Ephemera book. So they're all, if you look up Poor Toast on Amazon, there's hundreds of books between him and Kate Curry. Okay, so Debbie Epps, retired school teacher, although I still think she still teaches part-time. I think I've seen her mention on streams and stuff. But I think this is book 16. I'm not sure how many books she has at the moment. She has quite a few. I don't know which one this is in the lineup, but this is the kind of book that I would use in, scenes, backgrounds. I just could see myself using Rust. So I said, well, let me get the Rust book. So just Rust. Okay, here's the cover. And again, it's nice paper. She says, here's a little thing here on how to use the book. I'll just hold it there for a second so y'all can either screenshot it or read it. But it's everything Rusty. And Janet's going to like it because it's got the alphabet and numbers. So she has 2 letters on every other page, like A, B, C, D. She's got the numbers all rusted out. Thanks, Kat. Okay. And so she designs them, and she does use AI, which I don't have any problem with AI in these books. I just don't. Collage Soup uses AI. I just don't have a problem with them, putting their stuff together and combining it with. I look at it like using Photoshop. That's just me in this sense. I'm not for taking someone's image and stealing it and whatever, but y'all know. So we don't need to get into that. So, but look at the ST over here. See how it's all rusty? So, just going to do a quick flip here so y'all can see. And then after the alphabet, she's got some, look at that. Peeling paint. I love that right there. So I'm going to try to find something like, in the fall color, something in the fall colors to use today. Like maybe that. Something like this. Or that. So very cool. And those are cool right there. So I haven't gone through here to decide what to use. I like the word art, but I could forfeit this for this. And I know people make, y'all make your copies or whatever you do. I'm more I like to just use the originals. That's just the way I like to roll. I'm just kind of in my back of my mind trying to think of what I could, what would work with maybe some of that. I like this too. I think we're going to go with this page. We're going to tear this page out. And we might use some on this side. We might use some on that side. But that looks fall, doesn't it? Doesn't that look fall? You love you some Rust, Riri? Yeah. So if you love you some rust, this book is probably right up your alley, people. It's all rusty. It's very rusty. So there's Debbie. There's a little bit about Debbie there. So, okay. Collage Companion, just rust. So I'm going to use some of this. Because I did pull a couple little pieces of some of my jelly plated papers here, just a little bit, because I'm really going to do more clusters and, you know, some background stuff. All right, let me move my books off, all the books off the table so I have room. And here's a little tag there. All right, so like I said, there's some more. I don't think I'm going to need all this, but, you know, I might put some of this in my I'm going to do a giveaway, so y'all can make your own. And so maybe, some of this, put some of this. All right, let's turn the brightness down. It got really flashed out with that. There we go. When you change colors from white to black, it really does. The camera goes, no. Yes, exactly, Ann makes. Good point. So I might put some of this in your little, collage kits. All right, so I got that. Like I said, I pulled some pattern paper, like tissue paper. I pulled a bunch of fabric pieces. You could use scrapbook papers. I don't need to show y'all any scrapbook papers. Y'all know what that looks like. And again, I cut down some 12 by 12 to 4 by 6 craft cardstock. Okay, it's just Hobby Lobby crafts cardstock. It goes on sale all the time, 40% off. So, when it does, I'm running low on craft, black or white, I get the 12 by 12 because I can cut them down to any size I want. Then I pulled a bunch of different ribbons and fibers. So there's this gold leaves, just some little velvet piece here, another velvet ribbon, some sari silks. Here's a couple sari silks in here, and then just some more, just ribbons and trims and just different things here to use because we're going to cluster. And then again, like I said, I'm going to show you my 2 samples there. So I also have a whole bunch of, here's out of my autumn books, the autumn Portos books, different pieces and different little bits that I cut out to use today and to do in the giveaway. I've already cut some out. I cut quite a few out here as like to put a little focal point, on your card. Inks, and I'm going to zoom in when we start working. Inks, of course, pencils. I got a copper paint marker, and then I got gold too. Washi tapes, different washi tapes. I try to keep it all in the fall colors, kind of fall-esque, Got some of those. I got some pop dots if you want to do, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Just tickets that you can ink and alter. Little tags. Flowers, and I'm keeping them kind of flat here. I pulled out some of the flat flowers. It's all mixed up with my tags here. Some little flat flowers and some different tags that I've got from sales. I don't know who made these. I don't remember, but they're dyed. Got some of those. Oh, what else do I have over here? Let's move my like I said, I got jelly plate pieces here. Let's just kind of make a pile of those. Another flower there. I'm trying to keep all the flowers together because they just go everywhere. I don't know what that is. Alrighty, there we go. So there's some jelly plate paper pieces left over. Scrape with the palette knife with any acrylic paint we might use. Let's just put the little ink pads on top of that to hold it down for a minute. Brush for, inking, little small ink pads, pencils, of course, glue sticks, or, depending on what it is you're gluing, you might need, some Eileen's tacky, or, I'm been using the glitter glue. There's no glitter in that. That's what it's called. Let's see. I got a VersaFine. So if I stamp anything, I did pull a couple of my stamp sets. I pulled the mushrooms and the dragonflies. They're from Amazon. I don't know that there's a company name. I don't remember. But if you just put in acrylic stamps, Amazon, into Amazon, mushrooms or dragonfly, something similar will come up. And again, I did already cut a few things out here. Oh, come back here. Cut a few things out to start, so y'all don't have to watch me fussy cut everything. I have a couple of pumpkin stickers here that I just came across that were left over. And remember, I showed y'all how to glue down the ephemera on some cardstock and then do the cutting. So you're not cutting it out twice like this. So I just glued her on here and now cut her out, and then you'll have it on cardstock if you want to pop dot something up. All right. Let's see. You got little pieces of ephemera that you can tear and ink. Ink that out. Hello, Ginger Beach Studio. It's been a while. Good to see you. Carol. Hi, Carol. It's Carol's birthday this week. Happy birthday again, Carol. Let's see. See who else I missed. Thanks, everybody. Sandy Vila. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Yeah, the cutouts, these little cutouts are from Pour Toast Autumn books. So Pour Toast on Amazon. Okay. So I think I've shown you pretty much everything. Now I'm going to hold up. Now, I don't know that I've shown you everything that's on this list. Like I didn't pull any buttons. I didn't pull any. There's a few things I didn't pull. Oh, and I did show y'all that I pulled fabric scrap. This is some of my Amore Fabriques, Selena fabrics. I'm just looking here, see if I've missed anything. Probably have, but I did make, here you can take a screenshot here. I tried to write big. So here's just some ideas to do the postcard on the craft card stock. I have stencils pulled, but I probably won't use any stencils, but you could stencil. So any of this, if you take a screenshot of this and write this down, put it in your Society of Idea Collector notebook. You'll have this maybe not even for the postcards. It could be for ATCs. It could be for journal pages. It could be for your Bible journaling. It could be for a lot of stuff. But here's just a quick little list of some of the supplies we're using today. Okay, so take a screenie. Hi, Gina. Who else am I missing? Let's get a sip of my lemon water. Jane. So, Kimberly's birthday. Let's see. When's Kimberly's birthday? I didn't see her. She, if it doesn't pop up on my Facebook feed, then, or if I don't hear somebody mention it, then I'm not going to know. It's Sunday. Okay. Happy birthday. And Kat, of course, is going to know because Kat and Kim are friends. So Kimberly, we've been knowing Kimberly forever. Huh, Kat? Kat. There's Kimberly. Okay, so let's see. Put it in caps if you're talking to me. Make sure you have all messages clicked at the top so that you see all the chat. And that also pertains to recordings. You have to do that. You have to do all messages or all chat, whatever it says. Or you'll just get top chat. You won't get all the chat. Okay, so let me go ahead and zoom in one click here and see what we can do. All right, so I did make a couple little samples, if you will. This is a little tilted. Let's go a little bit this way. There we go. I think that's pretty straight. All right, so I made a couple, and I haven't glued them down yet. We're going to go ahead and do that. But I made a couple little samples here to show you. And let me get a piece of bigger cardstock or something to put behind it, because I don't know that this is going to, maybe you can see it. I'll zoom, zoom in again. So I kind of laid it out. Now, if you do a layout like this, just leave it laid out and take another card and then just move it over, work it this way like that. So this one is kind of a very simple, just a few little things, and you can glue down and just make a quick little scene. Okay. And then the second one we're going to do is we're going to use a little it got twine too. I forgot about twine. Got twine. We're going to make a true cluster where you're just piling the stuff on. And then after you pile the stuff on, you can pick a focal image if you want, like, got this butterfly, or I got these other little gnomies. And so that kind of on top of everything. But you can do a whole bunch of stuff like this. So that's why it's called a cluster. If you've ever, know the Army term, we won't be using that today, but, we'll just say cluster. But anyway, this is what we're going to do on the second one. But I thought we would start out with something kind of, I don't want to call it basic, but not too much stuff. All right. Do I need to zoom in one, or is this good? Do y'all like seeing some of the stuff around the edges, or do you want me to zoom in? Y'all tell me. Hi, Riri. Hi, Joycey. Good to see you. Good to see you, Joycey. Joycey's been around forever too. And she used to be a big streamer. Back on, especially on Ustream days, which seems like forever ago, Joycey. Good to see you. All right, so y'all let me know. Is this close enough, or do y'all want me to zoom in? Because I can do either one. Janet, Kat, what do y'all think? Is this good, or do you want me to zoom in one? Let's brighten it back up a little. Change the color of the background. So let's see. Close enough? Okay, it's close enough. Okay. Thank you, Ellen. I'm good. Okay. So I hold everything up as I work. I do that. All right. So I just got a few things here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the back piece of just a little piece of jelly plate. Let me get a piece of wax paper. Hang on. Let's see. I got some to glue on here. Let me move some of my little already pre-cut ephemera here out of the way. So I have a little spot to glue. Alrighty. Little tight quarters here. I'm used to working, most of the time really big, unless it's like Carrie the Crafter when I did his, and if I remember, or y'all remind me, let me make a note, because I always say that and I never remember, to show my postcard notebook. Show postcards later. Okay. All righty. Okay. All right, Joycey. Well, it's good to see you. Pop in more often. All right. So I'm going to just use for this little piece of jelly plate, I could use glue stick. And again, I could use glue stick, or I got my glitter glue here. But the reason I love this is, and I just put a jeweled fox brooch to keep the little tip clean. That's what the fox says. All right, so I'm just going to glue down this little piece of. And if you're worried about, if you lay a card out, whether it's a postcard or whatever kind of card, if you lay a card out and you really like it and you're afraid you're going to lose the exact spot of everything, then take a picture with your phone and or screenshot, however you do your pictures. But take a picture, and then that way you can just look at your phone and see how did I have that laid out? Okay, so then I want this little piece of fabric, which for the fabric, I'll use this. So I'm just going to put some Glue on the fabric. Now, if you're going to mail these finished to anybody, you're going to have to put them in a, I would recommend, because you're going to have some dimensional. Don't just put this in the mail. Put it in a folded card, or put another piece of card, put another piece of cardstock over the top of it and send them like that. You know. Okay. Anything hanging over the edge, you can either leave it because sometimes it's cool, or you can trim it off. All right. So now I'm going to use this little flower. I'm going to trim this off a little here. Just it's a little long. And then I got this little postcard. I mean, a little what do you call it? Postage stamp, canceled postage stamp, which is already I inked it. So I inked it. It's canceled. I just trimmed it down and inked it. And if you want that to be puffy, you take a couple of pop dots. Can y'all see okay? Let me know. I'm looking for caps. I just want this right there. And then this little flower, I'm going to just kind of make sure it's exactly where the leaves are that I want it. Then I'm going to glue that down. So this is just very simple and I say simple and basic. It's, may or may not be. If you've never made anything like this, and it may, say, oh, it's not that simple. Like that. And then I have this little piece of gold leaf here. And on this little gold leaf, you do have to put glue on every leaf because it won't stay down if you don't. But on the next one, we're just going to pile up the clusters. And when you pile them up, you can do that in a couple different ways. You can just staple, and which maybe I'll get out my tiny attacher and do some stapling. You can, pile on the glue, however you want to do. All right. And then my little Nomi here, I went ahead and put a lot of pop dots. So it just depends on what you're going to do with it. If it's just you're keeping it for yourself and you do however you want, depending on what you're going to use it for. But if you're going to mail this, you're going to have to, I recommend putting another piece of cardstock over the top and to protect it. So there's just that. Now I could put, and I could have already put it down before, but let's just see here. I like this. Where's my little cat? I have some little cat washi tape. All right. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and put my little fox brooch back in the tip here. You can just put a pin. That's what I've been using up till this point. Okay. So there's that. And if you want, you could add some scraped paint. You can maybe we'll add a little ink to the edges, and you probably could do that before you glued everything down. You do the sequence of events however you want, because you're going to have to look at it and decide which way to go with, the layering process, how you want to do it. Maybe another little one of these could be cute. I like that. These I use all these in my, maybe I will go get one of my, what do you call it? Shadow boxes to show y'all. It does glare because of the light. It does put a glare on there, but I think you might be able to see. Oh, okay, I cut that too short. All right, I'm going to have to tape. Let's just take those two off there. All right, let's glue. Let's make sure this is, let's just go ahead and use this glue. I cut it too short, and I'm going to unravel it. I don't want to unravel the thing that's holding them all together. There we go. But I use these little sort of flat flowers and leaves in my shadow boxes. All right, so now let's go ahead and put quite a bit of glue, and this dries clear. Okay, that'll have to sit there for a minute. Maybe, let's see, do I want one of these little, maybe one of these little pumpkin stickers? So I'll take one of these little pumpkin stickers and I'm going to put it on a little piece of cardstock over here. And then cut this out. Now it's going to be shiny, but you know, you can matte medium over it if you want. I'm just giving y'all some samples here, so. Or you can get, like Denise does not like shiny stickers. She only buys matte stickers. So, but I just found these in my stash. And I said, well, let's just pull them out and see if we can do something with them. All right, so now let's go ahead and put a pop dot. Maybe a little, no, I want that cat. Where's that cat washi? There's maybe a little bit of this. I have a cat washi sitting right here somewhere. Of course, you know, I'll find it. You never find it when you want it. And I also have some little mushroom stamps ready to go. Here it is. Okay. I picked this out because of the colors. It's got some cats on there. Maybe just a little piece of cat washi. And I don't trust washi tape. So I'm just going to glue that. Let's see. Let's put a little piece down there. So you just cluster things on, pile it on, and then maybe some of this. Let's just take a little bit of twine. And then I want pop dot on this. I'm looking for anything in caps, guys. Put it in caps if you're talking to me. I'll go right there with that. And then maybe a little twine. Let's see here. Go. I kind of really want it under there, but let's see if I can unpop dot this. Maybe there. I want the twine up under here. And then I'll put a little piece of tape on the back. Oh, let's just let that hang forward there like that. So there we go. There's a simple one. And again, we can ink. Let me go ahead and put the glue thing back in here. This dries out really quick. Okay. Let's see. What ink do I want to use? I probably want a darker ink, or maybe the rustier color. This is vintage photo. Let's just take a little bit of that. And then I'll probably also put some copper around it. Okay, so I'm going to come over here on my wax paper and just put a little. I'm going to put a little bit of ink around the corners especially. So you can just do this. If you know you're going to edge it with a color, you could probably do that like right off the bat, like the copper. I'm going to put copper on around the edge. All right, so see something like that. Now you can also do word fetty. I didn't pull word fetty. Let's see. Should write that on my list. Let's see. I've got some Tim Holtz word fetty here. Or if you don't want to buy any word fetty, my recommendation is, let me see if I can find one here. Where did I put them? I have some children's books. Here's some. Just old children's books. And you can, oh, thanks, Gina. You can use old children's books and just pick some words out. You can see I've been using this one. And I'm just reading some titles here. There's some on stone, glass. Here's wood. We use wood. get my bigger scissors. I'll cut it. Okay. And then I'll take my little ink. It's not got quite enough on, but I want to kind of knock back the it's an old book, so it's already kind of cream color. There we go. Put a little bit of ink on there. You could do this with pencil too. Pencil. Okay, let's see. I don't see anything I'm missing. All right, now we can take that and put it. I think I should have put it on a piece of cardstock first, or on a tag. No, I don't need a tag with that string there. So let's just go ahead and glue this down on a piece of cardstock. It's just easier. You don't have to cut it twice. If you glue it down on your cards on a piece of cardstock before you cut, but I might even just leave a little bit of a border there. Okay. Thanks everybody for being here. Hang around. I'm going to do some little collage pack giveaways. Hi, Devin. And Devin, I already talked about all the supplies and all the tips and tricks. You have to go back and watch. Okay. So, Devin, are you streaming today, by the way, Deb? So we use wood, and then let's go ahead and do a little bit of copper. I'll just put a little bit of a copper, edge on this. Kat can put a link in for you. Notice I didn't say Janet. And Tina had to had to take her mom to the doctor today, so that's why Tina's not here. So, all right. So now I will take and put. I'm kind of looking where I'm going to lay it, so I can put a pop dot on each end, and they come in all different sizes. Let's just put this medium kind of size here. So yeah, we're doing postcard clusters today. Okay, you will watch back. Okay, and there's Devin right there. She streams at 3 Eastern. So y'all follow Devin. Okay. All right, we use wood. So it's got the pop dots on either end, so it can kind of go over those two little branches that are there. And I don't put a lot of words on my stuff, but this kind of suits it, doesn't it? So there we go. There we go. Could put a little something right there, a little bead, a little jewel, like right at the top of that little flower right there. I don't have any out here, any jewels. So anyway, but you could put a little sequence, a little jewel right there. I mean, that's just caught my eye that it needs something there. So there's some using up your scraps and pieces and bits and bobs and whatever to make that. All right, so now what we're going to do is get a baby wipe. Just picked up one of those leaves. They stick to everything. Those little leaves attach themselves to your paper. Need them in a little bowl or something. All right, so now what we'll do is take a sip of water. Again, this is just a kind of a short list of things that you can use on your clusters, whether it's a postcard, an ATC, a bookmark. I did where did I put it? Here, this book. Since I rearranged all my journals and changed shelves and cleaned the shelves and got rid of four bins of journals, just journals and sketchbooks, 4 bins. I gave 2 to Denise and I stored 2 in the garage. So now my shelves breathe a little bit. Anyway, I know, and I think it's in this book, I have some clusters. It's kind of falling out here. I need to tiny attacher this stuff. Let's see if I can tuck it up under there. This little clippy. I think I have some clusters in here. Here they are. So these are some clusters I made some years ago. They're just like little bookmark clusters, and I got to go this way to get them out. And they have some buttons. Oh, what is it attached to? Somehow did I staple it? Did I staple? Oh, I did. I think I did staple something there. Well, we'll just cut that off. So these are some little clusters, like bookmark type. You know, I would not use these in a bookmark because I don't want to, dent any pages in a book. But I just, made some that kind of shape. So you can make them hangers, you can have tassels, and it's just a bunch of stuff. Okay. Yeah. Just cut it, right, Cat? Just cut it. What happened is this came unstapled one day, and with my tiny attacher, I just stapled it back, and I just must have, caught a piece of that. So here's a couple little clusters. Let's see if I can get them back in there now. There we go. So this is I'm not going to flip through this book. I flipped through this book like 2 weeks ago. I only got a couple of junk journals. This is one of them. Most of my journals are not quote unquote junk journals, but y'all are so funny. All right, let's put these back up here. All right. All right. So let's get back to making a messy one. All right. So here are a bunch of stuff that you could use on your cluster. Maybe, I don't know. Do I need to zoom in? I think y'all can see okay. All right. So I'm going to take another card, and this is not in any kind of order. I just kind of piled up some stuff to use on another one that's more clustery. All right, so let's go ahead and start first by maybe edging this one with some gold. Let's see, do I have a gold paint pen here? Oh, yeah, here. So, because after things are glued down, you're going to be kind of fighting around trying to, get an edge. But I do want to ink it first. Okay, so let's go ahead and take some Distress Oxide Vintage Photo and my little brush here. And let's just go ahead and put a little bit of couple of layers of ink around the edge, just to give it something other than just nothing on the edges. We're going to go ahead and do this. If you have any questions, put it in caps, or any snarky comments like Devin and Kat. All right, there we go. And don't forget, go back, and if y'all just came in or missed the beginning, go back and look at the new books that I showed, including Debbie Epps, which we'll start with some of Debbie Epps here. I pulled this page out of Debbie Epps' Rust book. Let me show y'all that again. It's my first Debbie Epps book. So, yeah. The Rust, Just Rust. So I pulled a sheet out of there so I could maybe use some of this and some of this and some other fall stuff. All right, so now let's go ahead and use some of the darker. And do I want to just ink the edge? Maybe just make it kind of messy. Kind of keep it not so smooth with the brush. haven't shown y'all some of my, well, y'all, most of y'all have been around. I should bring out some of my old scrapbooks to show y'all how I used to scrapbook, because all those techniques that I've used over the years, they come back. They come back. I want to say to haunt you. Let's see. Hi, Keeks. Does miss you? Jane? Hi, Jane. I haven't got my ATCs yet from Joanne. I hope mine didn't get lost in the mail again. All right, let's see. All right, so now I want some of this rusty stuff, but I kind of want to keep, what part do I want to keep here? I kind of like this number here. Let's see, maybe I should start with picking off what I don't want to lose on the back. Like I don't want to lose that. And maybe I don't want to lose those two things. Y'all know, or maybe the 24, because y'all know me and my watches. Y'all know I love me some watches. I'm not steampunk gear oriented so much. I kind of like that wheel. Let's take half the wheel. And then we have, this is what we're, I mean, we may or may not lose some of it, but here we got our rust. All right, let me go ahead and trim these down a little. Let's see. This one could probably be flat. I'm going to trim them down flat, but these two I might want, whatever of these, I'll probably want these to be pop dotted up. So again, this is what you can do that makes it easier to cut things out if you're going to pop dot it. Now this one will probably stay flat. All right, so let's see. Is you take a piece of cardstock. I don't want to bump into my, ever since the last 2 times I've cut myself off by bumping on something on my keyboard. So I want to try to be careful of that today. Okay, so I'm going to take and glue stick. I'm going to glue these down to some cardstock. It's going to take the image and glue it down on some cardstock. And then when you cut it out, you only have to cut it out once instead of twice. If you want it on a, something to pop dot up and you want it a little bit more sturdy. So I'm just going to put it on the cardstock and then cut it out. All right. So when I pop dot it, it's not floppy. Do you know what I mean? If I just put pop dots on this, I mean, it'll be okay, but, thanks, Kat. All right, so let's go ahead and... So instead of cutting this out and then gluing it down and then cutting it out on the cardstock, you only have to cut it out once. Okay. And again, I'll ink the edges. This one is going to lay flat on the card. I could probably get 2 cards out of just what I've cut out here. All right, and then like that little stamp too. All right, so this is on the cardstock. This is chill clustering. Chill postcard clustering today. And Monday, we're going to work in the new Christine Karen Little Folk coloring book. So you'll make sure to be here for that if if you like the coloring videos. Some people like collage, some like more crafty, some like the color books, some like the pan pastels, sketching, drawing. We do the animals usually in the fall. And then, of course, in October, next month, is Inktober and cute and creepy coloring and my collage pumpkin. That's what we do in October every year. Okay. All right, so this right here, I think I want to tear that little edge down, tear this down to make it look a little more. It's a couple of little stamps that were sent, they were already, and you can get cancel postage at Hobby Lobby, at bookstores in the hobby section. They have bags of them, and you can get US or international bags. And they run about, I think, $10 or something for a big bag of like 1,000. And then you can sort through them and play through them. And then I sort them, and I usually end up putting them in a bag. I'll put a couple of, stuff like that in giveaways. Oh, and also I forgot to, maybe I didn't forget, but if you have your ephemera, Velcro warning, all these different little things that you can get, whether it's Tim Holtz or, just little things off of Amazon that are ephemera. Velcro warning. These I got at Hobby Lobby. They're just different little cardstock ephemera. And then what else do I have in here? I think this is mostly the cardstock ephemera from Hobby Lobby. Got some of those. I won't close it so that the Velcro doesn't, creep y'all out for the next time I open it. And then let's see. I pulled a couple bags of those, a couple of the ephemera bags, and then this is the Hobby Lobby one. Okay, let's see. Tickets. You can take a ticket. I'll put some of these in your giveaway. Do they tear it? Yeah. I'll put some of these in the giveaway packs. Come on. Do I need to fold your? All right, I'll take this one here. All right, so you can ink those. I got this. All right. I think I want to just put this as a base, so we'll just cut it out without gluing it. This can be on the second one. I'm going to do 2 at a time here. I'm going to do 2 postcards at a time. So I hope this is, chill for you guys. Need a chill day. All right, let's see. Let's go back to let's do another postcard background first. I cut out a whole pile of these. All right, let's see. Let's take this color, maybe the rusty hinge, and I'm not cleaning the brushes. I just go right to it. So this one's a little bit more orange, a little bit more sienna color, a little more rusty color, maybe. I don't know. There we go. And then we'll take the small distress. Thanks, Devin. If y'all are just chilling, you can nap. Just nap. I'll tell y'all when it's time for a giveaway. Shh, shh, shh. Just get a little snacky and take a little nappy. There you go. All right, so we got a little bit of edging on there. And again, I might go ahead and put gold on. Oh, do I want? No, I probably want copper. This is not this copper one is just a bullet tip end. And let's see, do I have one handy that's got the calligraphy nib? There we go. I want the calligraphy nib because, oh wait, is this one dried out? There it goes. Let's see if I can get this one going here. This one, I put them all on the shelf over here, and this one, oh, there it goes. It's starting to come. There we go. And so I'll just go around the edge here. It's easier to keep a straight line with the calligraphy nib as opposed to the rounded nib. It's this because it kind of grabs, puts a little crevice in the pen, and so you can go around easier. The copper edge. You don't have time for a nap? Angie, you always have time for a nap. You take Angie naps. We talked about earlier, Angie will be selling her bowls, I think, in October. through Jacqueline's Crafting Lodge, or no, Lovely's Crafting Lodge. Her name is Jacqueline. I just call her Lovely J. And she comes on Fridays, and Kat put a link to her channel earlier. All right, so let's put this other one away. All right, so now I've got a little bit of a border just to, so whatever happens. You're all done. Yes, the shelves. Yes, I have one little section of one tall shelf way back in the corner that needs to be done. But other than that, I got the shelves done. Now, do I have every drawer, nook, and cranny done? No. But the big part was doing all, because most of my room, I'd say 3/4 of my room was art journals and sketchbooks that I, have done or had. And so I gave, of course, I have my build a wall, my pin wall here, but not including that. All my room is shelves and full of art. I showed y'all art journals and sketchbooks, and, been in this room for 25 years, I think Hubster said, 25 years. And so I had 25 years of sketchbooks and art journals in here. So I finally decided, all my color books aren't even in here. Color books are in the other room. All my art books, like art books on art, they're all downstairs on its own shelf. Shelves. But I don't know if I've ever shown y'all my art bookshelves downstairs. I don't know if I've shown y'all that. I could go take a picture if y'all want. But anyway, so I filled 2 bins of stuff that I wanted to keep, but I'm not using. And they're just like in here. I put 2 bins. I mean, I'm talking about those tall, big plastic bins in the garage of art journals that I want to keep, but I'm not using anymore. They're in the garage. I gave 2 big bins of partially used or new sketchbooks and journals to Denise and her friend Jules. And and she'll divvy those out when she has time. So I got rid of 4 bins, and then I had 2 huge bags, the garbage bags, like the garden garbage bags, 2 of those in trash. So there's a lot more shelf space in here. Let's see. Yeah, I do work. I think that's my superpower view is working fast. I do work fast. And, I don't really think about it. I just do it. And I think that's why I can kind of work fast, is because I don't overthink it. If I don't overthink it, if something doesn't turn out, I either fix it or just put it aside, move on. I don't over stress about. Now, let me back up. Beep, beep, beep. If I'm doing a pet portrait or a family portrait for somebody, I'm much slower. Much slower. Okay. I'm probably still pretty fast, maybe compared to some people, but I'm way slower on commissions. This stuff is fun. It's just make it fun, All right. So I got these 2. I put some of this on card. I put 3 things on cardstock there. This little stamp thing is already on kind of some cardstock, but let's go ahead and let's kind of knock back the white edges there on that little postage. We're going to use that on one. I got these tickets here. Let's see. What do I want to use? Do I want to use, which one of these was the redder of the 2? The rusty hinge. Let's go ahead and just kind of go over these tickets and make them not white. And then I think what I'll do also with them is I think I will tear one and go ahead and ink that. And then the other one, I think I'm going to fold up. I'm going to mash it like this. And then, there we go. So there's my tickets. All right. And I just kind of look around, see what we got. We're going to play. All right. So I want to use Debbie's paper here, the rusty paper. Of course, I'm going to have to I'm going to rip this, not cut this. So let's see. Let's just go straight across here because I can get 2 out of this one. and then maybe layer up. Now remember, we're going to cluster this up, but I want torn edges, and I'm going to ink the edges. So give me a minute. Give me a minute. We're going to use some rusty paper here. And then maybe this one. And maybe a little piece off of here. All right. There we go. We got some rusty paper. Now again, I'm going to take my darker ink here and my brush. And we'll go ahead and ink these up. Just to get rid of the white edge. I mean, you can still see it's torn, but it's not going to have a white edge. No, still with the tour. Oh, wrong side. This side. I got some glue here. Let me get that. There we go. Let's go and tear that off there. So when you cluster things, you just want to like layers and piles. Let's just say let's not even say layers. You don't really even want to layer. You're going to layer, but you're piling. Judy O. Hi, Judy O. You're piling stuff up. And it really, you want to kind of make it so you can see all the things that you're piling. But it's just kind of fun to just use, if you just have scraps of things or leftover pieces. I have one little bin of scraps like this that I keep. Otherwise, I don't keep it. It's too much. All right. And then also I did pull these two stamp sets, the little mushrooms and the dragonflies. And I did have one on a stamp thing here. Here we go. So I got a little mushroom there on a stamp acrylic block. All right, so let's see what we can do with these two postcards here. Grab the light back down. Hi, sister. How you doing? Good to see you. All right, so I think I'm going to do something that this will be like glued flat down, as well as this. I think I'm going to glue that down. And then I'm going to glue. I'm just going to put some stuff down just to glue something on the background. Then we're going to cluster, and then we can pick a focal point. We can pick one of our little girl things here. I got a mouse. I got all things that I already cut out. I got a whole, I got some rabbits, fall things. And it doesn't have to be. You don't have to have a focal point. Just pile it on. I got my little gnomies here. Maybe these are, because I've already cut them out on card and inked them. Okay. And then, or let's go ahead and maybe do this let's go ahead and glue this down, and then we will maybe ink and play with some, a couple of the little mini tags here. Let's go. I think I wanted to go this way. Like that, and maybe a little dark piece down here. Don't be afraid to cover stuff up either. Don't be afraid to cover stuff up. Oh, that's so pretty right there. I don't want to cover it up. Well, cover it up. Okay, so this can probably be okay to do with, there's no real dimensional anything. Washi tape always has a sense to peel. It makes me want to think of it's going to peel up, so I always use extra glue for that. But this should be okay for some glue stick. But if you're worried about that it's not going to stick or stay, then use your Eileen's Tacky or your glitter glue or another one. Okay. Yeah, piling it up, Arlene, piling it up. Okay, we'll put that there. And I probably have a little glue on the front here that I'll need to kind of take my baby wipe and get the glue off. So this is kind of the background. And I do like these papers, Debbie Epps. She doesn't usually come in here. I think it's too early for her. Did I say hi to you, Mama, for you? I think I did. So there's that start there. Let's go ahead and put this one down the middle. But Debbie, if you watch back, like in your rust book, anything hanging off the edge, you can trim off later. You know, don't be too, oh, that doesn't line up right there. No, you just let it hang off the edge and you go back and you cut it off. All right. Okay. And I do like this pin and gear glue, but you do have to make sure and snap it shut. All right, now let's see. We'll just turn it over and trim. All right, there's our two bases. All right, so now just to use all kinds of stuff, let me get my tiny attacher. Did anybody want to see my art book shelf downstairs? I'll have to go take a picture. Let me get my tiny attacher. Y'all know? Yeah, have y'all seen, who here has or has seen Tim Holt's tiny attacher? Raise your hand while I eat my Fig Newton. Can't talk and eat. Anyone seen Tim Holt's tiny attacher? Let's see. Hi, Missy. All right. I guess nobody's fessing up. Well, here's my tiny attacher. Cat has one. A long arm staple. You can staple anything with this baby. Anything. As long as there's staples in. I hope there's staples in there. I didn't check. Oh, and I need to show y'all Logan's video too. I got a note there. And show my postcard. I got things to do. We got things to do. All right, so here's a little 50-cent thing. I'm just going to pick something up. Now, I do want to ink things because I want it to look old, vintagey, and, rusty. So if it's too white, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh, where's those little stamps? Here they are. I want those. What else do I want here? Oh, I was going to do these little tags. I'm going to go ahead and put a little ink on the strings. And we can add some orange. Let's add some orange extra string to the tags. I'm going to put a lot of this stuff in y'all's little kits. I love building y'all some little kits. It's so fun for me. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of poke that through the little hole. And I'm leaving the other string in there too. But I'm going to make another and get it through there. Come on. Need a pokey tool, not the scissors. But there we go. Okay. Okay, so now we got a couple of strings just hanging off there. Let's put one on the other one too. Hi, Lucia. Is it Lucia or Lucia? Oh, wrong thing. Welcome. All right, let's see here. Come on. There we go. Just loop it through. Just a slip knot there. All right, so now I'm going to get some, I think I'll edge these in copper as well. I think I'll just go around just a little bit on these tags. Just a little bit of copper edging. I'm going to do it on both sides because it might flip over and you'd see the other side. Maybe we'll do a little stamp. Something on here. We can do some Lucy. Okay. No chia. Okay. Okay. Lucia. Right? Lucia? No chia, Lucia? Okay, so I'm just going to kind of do a little copper edging here. And if you want to put some, you can, I haven't done it today, but we can scrape a little rusty paint out. Let's see, cap. I know it's right here somewhere. I didn't let it go far. There it is. All right, I've got my little ticket here. Where's the other ticket? Here's the other ticket. A little watch, a clock, some more rusty bits. Our little, I got a Nomi here. Just looking around. Here's a little piece of fabric. So y'all know all the things that I showed earlier. I'm not using any of my jelly printed papers on this because I'm using this rust. All right, let's see. Where's my brush here? I need to kind of get a little of that browned up. Okay, let's see. What else do I want to see? All right, so let's go ahead and start with maybe just a piece of fabric. And again, you want it kind of, and I say you want to. You can do whatever you want. You can have it hanging off the edges or not. I'm going to just do a couple little side clusters here. I want some of that, some fabric, maybe a little piece of velvet ribbon or some of this, maybe some brown velvet ribbon. Here, let's get a little piece of brown velvet ribbon. After I do these two, I'm going to put together the kits for the giveaway. Okay, just a couple pieces of that. What else do I have over here? I got some of this yellow sari silk. Let's just get a little string of that. Let's do a little. I'm gonna staple this just to have it in place, and you can cover up the staple with other things. Okay, so I'm just, and you're gonna see. You might see bits of it underneath, or you may not. You just kind of pile, like I said earlier, and then after we pile, then I'll go in with, like, at the end, a gnome, pop dot, or something. A Nomi or something, like, or one of these others that I don't have cut out. Yeah, I tried to cut stuff out, but I didn't cut everything out. All right, so let's see, what else do we have? This is a heavy cardstock little butterfly too. All right, postage. I think I'm going to wait on the postage for a corner. No, yeah. All right, let's see. This will be good for the staple to go right there. Maybe a little piece. Do I want lace? I'm not sure I want lace, but I did pull lace. I pulled some lace, and I have this little bag. I have this little bag of stuff that I'm going to pull from when we go to do the little kits. Let's see. There's so much to choose from. Velcro alert. Okay, let's get a couple some more little bits here. Just some little, that one's already kind of dark. That might just be good right there. And then this one here, let's go ahead and ink this. Just so it's not too... Oh, let's go with this 50 cents. I've already inked that one. Okay, like that. All right, see how this is just piling? Then you can tuck things back up under. All right, so let's just do this. All right, let me get my tiny attacher here. And let's go ahead and attach. Let's go ahead and attach this. Maybe two. And attach this. Let's turn that over the other way. And even having the staple show is kind of cool. If you have the staple show. All right, so we got a little bit of start. Then what you can do is you take your other things. Now this is, I wanted to pop dots, so let's don't use that. Let's take this little ticket and let's get some glue. Where's my glue? Here, no, that's a glue stick. Where's my, oh, there it is. Okay, and then we'll take and just kind of tuck some stuff in. So you're just more piles. Let's use this little piece of ticket here. Are y'all still with the tour? Okay, then I've got these. I'm going to stamp something on those. And I do want to use this stamp. Where's that other stamp I had? Didn't have another one. Okay, let's tuck that in there. I'm not going to pop dot this. I'm just going to tuck that in here. Don't want to cover up her little face. There we go. That's good. And then what else do I want over here? I don't want another number. We got that number. Here's another stamp. Let's ink it. I'm getting some inspiration. Hi, Dot. Good to see you. I got the queen here. I don't want to leave this glue unpinned for very long. Okay, there's that. I need to pop dot this or this. I'll put this number on here, I think. Okay, let's put a pop dot. Put one in each corner. All right, making progress. That, and then this one I want. Do I want this or do I want a know me? I think maybe I want half of this. I've already glued this one down on cardstock. So let's go ahead and pop dot it. Let's move that up a little. Your desk looks like an explosion. Oh gosh, yeah. It's really expanded more than this, Devin. I'm just kind of zoomed in. Okay. That pop dotted. Now let's see, what do I want to put on my tags here? My two little tags. Let's put some washi tape. Let's put some of this little cat washi tape. It has a little cat and phone. Let's just do that. And again, I don't trust washi tape. So we're going to go ahead and put, because it's already starting to dry out. I didn't put my pen back in there. Let's see if I can get it to go. Come on. There we go. All right. Let me put the pen back in for a minute. I need to put some glue on the other side too. Okay, there. And right, this part right here, this cat right here. Okay. All right, I'm going to use the glue stick on here. Okay. Now I want to put a little something else on there. Let's clean this little spot off that I'm using. This little tiny, tiny spot. All right. You could put a little jewel, you could put a little, any little something, something on there. Let me see what I got handy. A little flower, maybe. I do have these flowers here. This would be good on each one. I think I'll put one of these on the piece. I'll do that right there. Okay, let's trim that down. I'm going to glue that on there and trim this down. Okay, there's that. We'll do that. And let's see, what do I want on the tags? That was what I was looking for. A little gold leaf. Well, how about a little piece of this little bit of, I don't know, lace or something? All right, we're going to do that. Maybe we'll put it on the back. That way it covers up that back and it doesn't cover up the cats. Can y'all see okay? Do I need to zoom in? Y'all said I didn't need to zoom in, but I don't know. All right, let's get a nice wad of glue here for the back of these tags. Because they're going to flip over. I'm not gluing the tags down. They're just going to be attached by the strings. Okay, Angie. All right. Come on, glue. I need to get another pen going in there and really clean this out. Okay. Come on. I think I just get my tacky glue for those flowers. I need a nice big wad of glue for these. That's not going to hold it if I don't. Need a big wad. There we go. And that one stuck pretty good. All right, what do I want next? There's so much to pick from. All right, I think I might want to know me, or I got this little lantern. I didn't glue him down yet. I could probably, let's put this lantern. I'm going to cut this little top off though. And I've already cut this lantern out. I could cut it out. I could do a couple things. I could glue it down on some cardstock, like I should have glued it down before I cut it out, but I don't want to take the time for y'all to have to watch that. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop dot it down, even though I don't recommend pop dotting down. Just a piece of paper, because it's going to start getting, flimsy. Oh, let me go and ink those edges there. But I don't want to take the time for y'all to have to watch me cut this out. Candy corn flowers. Yeah, it does kind of, doesn't it? All right, so I'm going to put that little lantern there. So you see how it's just kind of layers of stuff? I have little metal keys and metal. I don't know if I have any here. But, you can put little metal keys or you know, whatever. All right, so I got this little piece of lace here, the little cat thing on the back. And I think I'm going to staple it. I think I'm going to just kind of tuck it here, or just let it hang there and staple. I think I'm just going to staple it right there. Let's let it hang down this way. Like that. Get my tiny attacher. That can just kind of hang there. You can turn it over and see the cats on that side. Okay, let's do the same with this one. Do I want a gnome? I have a Nomi already cut. Here's a Nomi here. Do I want the Nomi? It's kind of too many Nomis. Let's cut one of the Nomis off. Let's just use one little Nomi. Let's use this little Nomi here. All right. Alrighty. All right. Then I'm going to put together our kits. Let's tuck him up right up under there. And then she's almost like under like a little umbrella in there. All right, let's go ahead and staple this little tag up here, or down here. I think I just want it right there. Or maybe up there. No, let's do it down here. Okay, so I'm just going to bend the string so I have something to staple it to. I can kind of tuck right there. Isn't it fun, Devin? They're so fun. And then maybe this little piece of watch can go back in there. Let's go ahead and get, let's get my tacking going here. Could have a little something else right there. Let's see what else we got sitting right here. I got this little photo. I got that little photo. Let's use this. Let's ink it up. Okay. Let's put a couple top dots on this. You're just gonna layer. You can keep piling it on. Hi, Lisa. And you can just make it as much clustery as you want, or you could do like we did on the first one, and just do something simple and more of a kind of like a little story or something. You know, not as piled on. I like the piles. All right, what else do I want? So I'll go through and show you some things here again that we used as I'm making the little kits, okay? Because I'm going to put it in the kits. All right, I think I'm going to stop. I didn't use any stamping. I did pull these dragonfly stamps and these mushroom stamps, but I didn't use them. There's a little acorn right there. That little acorn would probably be good right there. I didn't use them, but I want to show y'all. And again, if y'all missed it, here's my little short list of things that you can use in making these. I've been trying to use my stash. Oh yeah, do zines with these. Yeah, do your Mary zines. Mary, if you're in Mary's group, I'm not in Mary's group, but if you're in Mary's group, she has a zine thing going on for the Burr month, September, October, and Lucia's in it. So here's some ideas of stuff you can use. I didn't use all this stuff today, but I wanted y'all. I made a list of stuff that possible. All right, so let me move my stamps out of the way there because I'm not using them, obviously. All right, so I'm going to take a quick break and wash my hands real good, and then we will do some make some little kits. I gotta be careful. Denise goes cray when she's making the kits. Oh, let's put some more. I said, not on the international, Denise. We can't put that much on the international. But we do a good job of putting quite a bit of stuff in. All right, let me take a quick break, guys, and then we'll come back and make the kits. It's one nice thing about the distress inks and oxide inks. They wash off your hands really, really easy compared to some things. All right. Before I make the kit, so let me go ahead and show you while I'm thinking of it. Probably easier on my phone. It would be bigger on the phone shows up better than the iPad when I show. Oh, wait, before we do anything else, let me go to my photos. We're going to show Terry's prompts. So the prompts from Monday were Icon, Moon, Art Nouveau, David Hockney, and Hydrangea. So and also Terry does the Cheshire Cat lollygag book. She adds that in as well. So here, and it's on Instagram. It's Terry Brett 3 is Terry, but I took a picture of it, a screenshot of it, so I can zoom in for you. Okay. So here we go. You, an icon. You can't compete with me. I have everything. I guess you could say I'm the whole kit and caboodle. That was one of the lollygag words. I thought I was an icon, but I guess I'm just an old nouveau an old art nouveau knick-knack. Teresa, and then the hydrangea. Oh, stop with all the kerfuffle. Why can't you both be icons? Isn't that awesome? And it's a butterfly there and the hydrangeas. So anyway, so follow Terry Breath 3. I know, right, Janet? She rocks these prompts, I'm telling you. And for her to go out of her way to put in the lollygag words. Right, Keeks? So, oh, thanks. Kat put in her Instagram there too. So there we go. Thanks so much for participating almost every week. Terry does participate. And even if y'all don't participate, write down the prompts so that sometimes when you don't know what to do or you don't have any ideas, you can go to your Society of Idea Collector notebook and pull from that. Oh, I was going to do this too. Where's my postcard? Oh, I was going to show you some of the other ways to use postcards. So I'm going to pull my postcard book after I show y'all Logan's video. Hang on, let's see. And I will probably have to mute some of it because there is music. So he did this for school. He's on his video news, update, his news update school, high school stuff. So let's see. Hang on, let me find his. And I did ask Annie if I could show it, and she said I could. Now I just have to scroll back until I can find it here. Here it is. Okay. Let's see if I turn it sideways. All right, let's see. He interviews.
What's your name and what is your job at A Chorus Line?
My name is Beth, and I'm the sales manager at A Chorus Line. I've been here 40 years and started as a teenager. And the other manager and I are in the process of purchasing the business.
That's amazing. Here, because I noticed the sign is A Chorus Line, which is like dancewear. Do you have any other things that you sell here?
Oh my gosh, what don't we sell here? We are a non-corporate, privately owned company. So we sell not only dance clothing for dancers, but we are a year-round Halloween store. So we sell for Burning Man, we sell for EDC, we sell for Hard Summer, any rave that you could, they call them music festivals now, anything that you can think of. We do so much costuming for themed birthday parties. We sell
Look at Logan.
high-quality makeup. Carry special effects makeup, which has been huge. We have customers that come from at least an hour away just to shop our line of special effects makeup.
So sister, why should people come here and shop here at A Chorus Line?
I think the fact that we have been here so long really says something about our community spirit. When you come into A Chorus Line, we want to get you what you want. And we want to maybe give you things that you hadn't even thought of. We carry such a variety of different makeup options, clothing options for costuming, that you're going to really create a costume that is unique for you. So that when you leave...
He's just a natural at it, you know?
Oh my God, where did you get that? Instead of, oh my God, where'd you get that? We want our personal stamp to be on every costume, that you look amazing.
Thank you so much for answering these questions. Yeah. Letting us come here, shop at A Chorus Line.
We're so happy to have you.
And Halloween stuff. Thank you.
Wasn't that good? Yeah, he and one of his other students did that. So, yeah, he needs to be like a director, I don't know, where they make the movies. Although he's so cute, he could be an actor. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. I did ask Annie if I could. So he said that somebody else edited this one. He didn't edit this video. One of the other students edited it. Oh my gosh. I know. So he is Laverne. So thanks guys for watching for that. All right, so real quick, before we do the prompts, I'm going to show you my postcard book, which I'm going to put this one in my postcard book. But anyway, so here's my postcard 3-ring binder. And some are very simple, and some just have, this is a postcard, what's his name? The illustrator, and I just put a hand on there. And so I've done that with some of the, simpler ones like this. I added the boy, this, I added that. So Joanne gave me that postcard from her dad. And so some of these are pretty simple at the beginning with just a couple things. Here's my Pantone cards. I'm not painting and drawing on mine like Janet is. I collage on my Pantone cards. So here's my 3 red, yellow, blue ones that I did there. And so then this is just like an iCAD. And then these are just some collages that I've done and put on a postcard. Hi, Beth. So again, these are just ATC's artist trading card size that I put on a 4x6 postcard. Same for these. And then this is just some in progress here that I'm playing with. So, all right. So then I got these right here. Let me turn it this way. There's some collage different collage postcards, and then this one goes, these two go this way. Did these a few years ago. I had a date on them. I don't remember what the date are. These are I did a few years ago. And then same for, there's this one. Then these go this way. So you can see you don't have to do, too many piles. And then this was Carrie the Crafter's July. It was last year, July's, was it last year? January, February, 24 challenge where you had to use jelly plate, a number. I think that's all. You just had to number every day and use jelly plate images. So these are, my jelly plate papers here in the background. And then there you can see the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one goes the other way. So just so you can kind of see, it's just fun to make postcards. And again, jelly plated papers in the backgrounds. That's what I do with my jelly plate papers, is I like to make mountains and landscapes and hills and, sky. So I like doing, that's what I like doing with I'm trying to catch it up. It's catching up there on my markers to hold it steady. So there's 17, 18, 19, 20. So you did one every day for the month. So I'm trying to kind of, they're in sleeves, so they want to glare. Again, jelly plate, jelly plate, jelly plate, jelly plate, jelly plate. And then on the backs, I signed them, put my constellation that I put on all my pieces, and a stamp on the back of each one. Just because I wanted to. And I think that's it. And then I had, these are just some other leftover jelly plated postcards that I did that weren't part of the numbers. I just did some extra ones there. And so there we go. So this is my postcard book. You can see I got room for lots. All right, let's go ahead and make some kits. Thank you, Devin. All right, so again, these are just some little cluster postcards that I did on cardstock, which is what I'm going to send you guys. I'm going to put them together. And then this one, if you don't like just random junk, if you will, you can do something more specific and more, a theme, whatever, with the word fetty. I got this out of, and I will give y'all a page out of my children's book so y'all can, cut words out or whatever. All right, so here we go. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. And we're going to get some envelopes. And, let me show it again. This is Debbie Epps's Just Rust that I used in those last 2 postcards. And I did do a flip of it earlier, so you can go back and look at that. And then Poor Toast and Kate Curry do this Autumn 1 and 2. And this Mushroom, they do hundreds of books. And you can just look up Poor Toast on Amazon, and you'll see that. So I'll try maybe do a little Instagram, little something. All right, let's see. Let me get the envelopes. And also I did show these books as well at the beginning. Okay, let me get some envelopes Let's get 4 envelopes, because y'all know I do 2 US, 2 international. And I love fixing up little kits for you guys. I just put an extra stamp on them and it's all good. All right, so let's see here. So do I have room to do 4? All right. All right, here we go. Now, first off, since I said we're going to give y'all some word fetty, let me just go ahead and I'm just going to randomly pick a page or 2 Here. And I'll put one in each one. You can use the images. These are, some vintage children's books, and, or you can just use the words. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And I'll just move that off the table. All right, so is that going to fit that way? It may fit. I might have to trim it down. I'm going to try to keep things as flat as I can, because that way I can get more in there. Do you know what I mean? If I don't have to fold too many of them, then I can get more stuff in there. So let's go ahead and trim down some of this side, just so I can get it in the envelope. Lurkers, you're free to play too. Just wait till we do the go part. Okay. All right, so there's a book page in each one. Okay, then I take my time. We have time. Y'all can see how to put together a kit. All right, so y'all saw how I cut down a bunch of 12 by 12 craft cardstock. So I'm going to give everybody 2 of these. And I might put, if there's anything bumpy or lumpy, I'll put it kind of in between 2 pieces. So I'm going to put 2 pieces of craft cardstock in each one. Hi, Teresa. We're getting ready to do a giveaway. Stick around if you can. All right, there we go. We do 2 U.S. and 2 international. All right, then I said I was going to give y'all some tickets. And they are perforated, but I'm going to just go ahead and cut it because it's easier to make sure it's not torn here. So I'll give everybody some tickets. You can ink them or tell a story. All right. Tickets. Let's see if I can. Okay. Lemon water. Kind of picking up as I'm going. All right, let's move my inks out of the way. And the brush and the scissors and the pins. Don't need those. All righty. Okay. Let's see. Next, I'll see if I can put everybody. These flowers are pretty flat. I think they're going to be fine. And I'm going to give y'all a tag too. So I'm going to give everybody a flower. Do I have 4 flowers, or do I need to put another something? Do I have a leaf? I think I only have those flowers, so somebody's going to have to get one of these. All right. All right, then everybody's going to get a tag with the string. Tag and string, tag and string. Another one in here with a string. Digging them out here. There we go. All right, everybody gets one of those. Is this exciting? Oh, thanks, Kat. I try. I really do. I try to make the giveaways. When I make the little kits like this, I do try to make them kind of fun. Okay, let's get some little pieces of fabric here. All right. Let's see. I'm just going to grab a handful here. All righty, here we go. Let's put a couple pieces of random fabric in each one. I'm trying to kind of keep them fall too, trying to kind of keep them fall. Some little gingham check here. Gingham check. Is that 1 or 2? I think that's 1. Let's see what else. It's a little piece of something. That's not as exciting. Let me get back in the bag. Here we go. Another one of these. Okay, everybody gets a couple. Oh, that one needs another one. Is there any more gingham check in here? Here's a little floral something. I don't know what this is, but there we go. Okay. Then we're going to put a piece of some kind of lace, something kind of piece of lace in each one. Not looking at chat for a minute, guys. Another little piece of lace. All right. Then pick this up out of the way. Okay. Then we'll put some, let's put some, what do you call it? Sari silk in each one. There's some yellow and I have some other color over here. Okay, there's that. Oh, thanks, Melinda. I try. I really do. I mean, this is fun for me to make these little things for y'all. All right, now I got some little bits and pieces of rust paper from Debbie Epps. Debbie Epps's book. So I'm going to put y'all a thing of that in there. Do I have another piece over here somewhere? I thought I did. There's some. There's this and maybe that. Okay. All right. Then I will put you a piece, just a piece of my jelly printed paper in there. Let's see. Here's a piece of, there we go. Piece of jelly printed paper. What else? I'm looking around here. Hang on. Just getting started. And I'll flatten it out by putting, some in between the cardstock and washi taping it down or something. It'll make it nice and flat. Okay. Here are some pour toast things I've already cut out. So there's a cat. There's a squirrel. Here's some bunnies. And here's a little girl with sunflowers. So there's some pour toast images. Let's put in a piece of velvet ribbon. There's a piece of velvet ribbon. The scissors aren't doing so good. Let me get my other scissors. There we go. Okay, piece of velvet. Then we'll put some, all right, this washi tape, it's the kind you have to peel. You know what I mean? It's like a sticker as opposed to, and I didn't even get to use any of this today, but it's the kind that you peel and stick, but it looks like faux burnt paper, So I'm going to give everybody a piece of that. And let me see if I can get it to flatten out. I mean, it'll flatten out when I put it between something, but while it's sitting here. So this is like a faux burnt edge. Let's put something on top of it to hold it down there. So I'll give everybody some of that. Stay down. All right. Then a couple of little ephemera somethings, like the little Velcro alert, some little tickets or, something like these little numbers or something like that. Okay, so let's see here. Stuff like this. They're tiny little tags and tickets. So we'll put a few of those in each one. Oh, wait, that ruler goes to Janet. There we go. All right, let's see. And the little Union Jack goes to Samantha after her trip to London, which she absolutely loved, her European school trip. Some more of that there. Okay, let's see. There we go. All right. Then, what else can we conjure up here? Let's see. Looking around. That's more Portos. Let's see. I gave y'all some fabrics. What else is over here? Some more fabrics. Oh, I know what. No, I better not. I was going to give y'all some pop dots, but that would really make it thick. All right, let's see. Oh, twine. Some twine. Let's give y'all a thing of twine here. For your tickets, your tags or whatever, or just to have hanging off of there. I think that's good. What do y'all think? Is that good? I'm looking around at my desk. Other than, I gave y'all the washi tape, so let's see. I'm looking around, seeing what else. I think that's it. Is that good, guys? All right, now I can look at, hi, Raul. Y'all better watch out, Raul. Raul wins a lot on these giveaways. Okay, let's see. Scrolling. Hi, Melinda. Who else am I missing? Yeah, Raul. I know. Denise did stop by. She wasn't here for stream, but she did stop in on Monday? Wednesday? I think it was Monday. Yeah, it was Monday. Okay, let's see. Oh, what else do I mind? I'm just looking around at my desk here and just seeing what's laying around. I think that's good, guys. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of let it kind of tuck up under the flaps here. Okay. And y'all know how it works. We do 2 US, 2 international. Don't do anything yet. I think last time we did international first, so this time we'll do US first. Put a thing. So what happens is when I type in go, US only first. US only, we'll put in a number between 1 and 100. Let's get that flattened out there. Let me get my marker. Okay, USA only, 1 to 100. Make sure you have all messages or live chat clicked at the top so you see all the messages and all the chat. When I type in go, USA only, 1 to 100, first 2 people closest without going over will get one of the little kits. I'm so excited. I love giving these little kits away. And thanks everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. And all y'all that leave thumbs up and everything. Thank you so much. All right, hang on, guys. 1 number only. Don't change your number, move your number. 1 number. It's going to be the first 2 people closest without going over. Okay. All righty. First 2 people closest without going over. Let me get my iPad and random.org ready. And again, thanks everybody for being here. Lurkers, come out of the woodwork. Come put in a number if you want to play. I don't share your address with anybody. I don't put y'all on an email list. Not that there's anything wrong with email lists. Someday I may start an email list and let you, I won't automatically put y'all on one. I would ask y'all to say if you wanted to be on one. And but no, I don't do any email list or anything like that at the moment, and I don't share your addresses with anybody. So, all right, let's see here. Random.org. Okay. Here's our random.org. Here's our little number generator. Okay, so get your numbers in. I'm going to count down. Okay, don't dilly-dally, dawdle, or lollygag. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last call. Throw your number in there. Okay, here we go. First 2 people closest to. Come on. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you generating? Generate. I need to. Let me refresh my iPad. Maybe that's what it is. Hang on, guys. It's not giving me a number. Hang on. Let me re-put it in. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. 48. First 2 people closest to 48 without going over. USA only, and then we'll do international separate. That way, because there's less people international, I like to give y'all the same, a good chance. Okay. 48 without going over. First 2 people closest. Let's see. Teresa Lily has 43. Terry Bauer has 47. Scrolling. What do y'all think? Is it Terry? Joycey has 45. I'm going to wait to see what my mods say. Joycey has 45, and who was the other closest? Terry? Okay. All right. It looks like Terry B and Joycey. All right, I have Joycey. Let's see. Hang on. Let me get mine. Joycey, you haven't moved, have you? And let me make sure I put Bauer and not Brett, because I don't know if I have your address, Terry Bauer. I have Joycey's, unless Joycey's moved, and I don't think she has. Okay, still the same. All right. All right, so Terry, you need to send me your address. I might have had it at one time, but it's been so long since I've sent you anything, if I have. So send me your address, okay? Here's my email. My email is on my About tab, as is my post office box. Okay? Did y'all grab that? All right. All right, now you're excited. Okay, just email me your address, okay? Oh, Melinda, thank you so much. You'll get a sticker, Melinda. This month is super chats or get stickers. And I'm sure I have your address, right, Melinda? Thank you, Melinda. Sticker time for you. Do you have a preference? Do you want the lemurs? Most people want the lemurs. All right, Melinda, I got you down for some stickers. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Let's see. I know that was sweet. Thank you. Okay, let's see here. Hi, Vale. I do have your address. Okay, chickens. I can print more. Melinda wants chickens. Okay, chickens it is. I wrote you down for chickens. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. Let me go ahead and move these to my little station, my email outgoing station. Now we're going to do the same thing, except it's going to be international. International only. Wait till I type and go. International only. Same rules applied. 1 to 100. First 2 people closest without going over. Hang on. Let me type and go. One number only. Wait for the go. There you go. International only. 1 to 100. We'll pick a new number. Good lemon water this morning. Put the rest of that in there. All right. If y'all have any after this, let me know if you have any questions, comments after we finish this giveaway. If you have any questions or comments that we haven't answered for you today, then we'll have a minute. All right, get your numbers in. I'm going to count down. Counting down. 10, 9. Oh, wait. Devin directed a couple of new crafters. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Vale. Vale said she directed a couple new crafters to me and Devin. Don't forget, Devin streams at 3 Eastern today. There's Devin's name right there. She streams at 3 Eastern every Wednesday, except when she's off gallivanting around the world. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Get them in. 4, 3, 2. Thanks, Vale. 1. Last call. If you haven't hit the enter, throw your number in there. It doesn't count after the stop. Okay, here we go. First 2 people international. 81 without going over. 81. 81 without going over. All right, let's scroll back and see. 81 without going over. Let's see. Joanne had 69. Hard House went over. So it looks like Joanne and Dot. Dot had 60. Am I correct? Did anybody else get closer? No, Carol. Carol, my quiet corner, had 65. So it looks like it's Joanne with 69. Had 69. And is it Carol, my quiet corner, had 65. And Carol, I don't think I have your new address. I'll just put Carol quiet. She had 65. Is this correct, guys? Y'all double check me. Tina had 80. Okay, Tina had 80. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and I'll make another kit. Tina Sweden. Because I haven't sent Carol anything in a while. So Tina Sweden, and that's not her last name, but that's how I know her as, had 80. Okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put together another kit. I won't do it right now on stream. I got it, Janet. Yeah. Tina and Joanne. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give one because Carol, I haven't sent you anything in a while. So Carol, send me your address and I'll send you a kit and I'll make another exact same kind of kit for Tina. Okay, so there we go. So I'll send 3 internationals. How about that? Okay, so Carol, again, I know you've moved, so I don't have your address. I'm still wrong? Okay, who did I miss? Joanne, Tina. Who else then, Janet? You said Tina and Joanne. What am I missing? Tina and Joanne, and I'm going to do one in Carol. What's wrong now? Somebody want to, if I need to be corrected, tell me now before we before we don't do it. Anybody? Bueller. All right, Janet's calling me. Hang on. Okay, you're online. You're on speaker. Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. What?
Okay, you're online. Speaker.
Never.
Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute.
Okay, go ahead, Janet.
Never mind.
Never mind. Are we right?
No, since you added Carol, you're good.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay, bye. Oh my gosh. All right, so there we go. Carol, I need your address. I have Tina's and I have Joanne's. All right, there we go. I get another. I'm going to put together Tina. Oh my God. Herding cats. Herding cats. But I haven't sent Carol anything in a while. She's moved. It was her birthday week too. So it's her birthday week. We're going to go ahead and send her something out. All right. Now, do y'all have any questions, comments? Again, here's some of the stuff we used today. You can use tons more stuff in your little clusters. Here's the two messy ones that we did, and you can see they're dimensional, lots of pylons. It's just a way for you to use up all your scraps. Jan said, we're going to get a ride if I have to drive to Atlanta. And then here's the one that's, here's just the simpler one where you can just do, more of a little small scene with the postcard. And then here you just cluster, you just pile it up. You can pile it up. Yes, herding mods. Exactly, Devin. Herding mods. Okay, so I showed the postcards. I showed Logan's video. I'm looking here at all my Post-it notes to see what else I might have missed. Looking around. I showed all the new books. And but I do love Debbie Epps' new Rust. It's new to me, just Rust. So go look at Debbie Epps on Amazon, see all the books that she has as well. I did flips of all these earlier. All right, guys. Well, if y'all don't have any comments or questions, here's my finished. I showed these earlier. Here's my finished Kristen Karen color pages that I showed that I started on Monday. That one and this one. I'm not quite finished with her. And then this one I did last week, and she's posted on Amazon. I mean, not on Amazon. The book is on Amazon. The picture is on Instagram. Okay, guys, I guess I'll head on out and hope y'all have a good rest of your day. And don't forget that Devin comes on at 3. Let's see. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. All right. Well, I'm going to head on out then. I hope y'all got some inspiration, some ideas, things for your Society of Idea Collector notebook. And we will see you guys later. Bye, guys.